Hey there, everybody. I'm gonna try to keep this one kind of short and sweet. I don't have a whole lot of time. Have to help get ready for a Halloween party, so I'm kind of sorry about the echo here. Um, so The Monster, movie came out 2016. I believe an independent film. I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know if it got picked up by a bigger distributor. I don't think it did. But honestly, really good movie. And not quite what I was afraid it was going to be, and not quite what I thought it might turn into either. See, what I was afraid of was that we were going to have like a Jaws situation, or only amplified, where you don't really see the thing in question, throughout most of anything, because hey, it's an indie film, we got a smaller budget, we can't afford to show that. Not the case, surprisingly. They actually showed it quite a bit, and it looked pretty good because it was mostly practical stuff. So they're gonna get some pretty big kudos from me on that. But the story revolves around a young girl and her mother, who is a recovering alcoholic and is trying to make an effort to be part of her daughter's life after pretty much showing she didn't care for years, and she's struggling with it still. And on their way to take her to spend her weekend at her dad's house, they hit something in the road, and things just kind of escalate from there. What I like about this movie is that, well, for one thing, like I said, the creature effects were phenomenal, but it's the metaphor. The thing is a real thing, okay? This isn't some sort of it's all in your head thing, or some sort of weird, it's a magical manifestation of this. It's a real monster. But what interests me is how it serves as a metaphor for things that happen in the film. And honestly, this movie does not really play with kid gloves. Like, it shows some things that are genuinely upsetting. Especially involving the mom's ex-boyfriend and everything. And there's some interpretation here too as to what does this symbolize? Symbolism's actually a pretty big thing in this movie, and it's done in a way that's not too ham-fisted, and it's done pretty well. I will say it's not necessarily going to be a happy film. Like, if you go into this expecting like a really flowery ending, don't do that. This is not going to be one of those things where everything's 100% okay by the end of the movie. But the ending, I think, is great, and it's worth it, and what it symbolizes is good, but at the same time upsetting. You'll see what I mean when you see the film. Overall, this is arguably, between this and Train to Busan, probably the best films that I've looked at this year, for the week. And I would actually very highly recommend that y'all go see this movie. I don't know if it's currently streaming anywhere. I will actually look that up real quick. But yeah, wherever you can find this movie, I would definitely recommend giving it a watch, because it's weird. I found it genuinely scary at times, and yet it moved me too, in a weird sense. And I cannot recommend this one enough. I really can't. Yeah, I don't think it's on any streaming service right now, but if anyone can, watch it anyway, preferably legally, support this movie because it deserves support. I would very much recommend that y'all give this one a watch too. If you want two really good horror flicks that kind of do something unique in a genre, but also kind of hit you in the feels, definitely watch Train to Busan and this, because they're pretty they're good. Alright, and that concludes this year. We made it through another year. I'm not sure when I'll be able to do my next video or what I'm necessarily going to do it on. I know that there are a few topics people have been wanting me to touch on, but honestly, some of them are just kind of banging my head against the wall at this point. And, I'd prefer not to address them until I have more substance upon which to address some of them anyway. But, just leave some suggestions in the comments of things you want me to talk about the next time I do a video. It doesn't have to be like the Dragon Ball stuff. It can be like movies. It can be what have you. And I will do my best to get some of those done. But that will do it for tonight. I hope you all have a very happy Halloween, and I will catch you next time. Stay safe and see you later.